Ain't in the benefits I say yenye free mu no yenya sa benefits. And nti yes so fa bebre ewo apomudin hihye mu say in terms of say ya apomudin ebre yare bebre wo yeso a anka ensese ewo yeso. But the reason why ewo yeso no is because say yemfa health messages so yemfa me seriously. But say woni me be ya adwene a ubehu say healthcare as it is right now no, unfortunately doesn't really help us because the healthcare no say na koye disease management. You manage yare no and the symptoms no na ye patch symptoms so no you control symptoms na say the be ya and get it out of hand. But yare no nya bet na also say pe na it also afebo. And that is the conversation we want to have this week. And no nkomodi a pese yedi na awhwe mu say nyame adom yeni beba ye ho so ne ye hu no say ye wo akyɛdeɛ bi a nyame de ama yɛn ye wo nkyerɛkyerɛ bi ye wo akwankyerɛ bi a nyame de ama yɛn fa apɔmuden ho a sɛnka yɛ saa ama yɛni aba ye ho so no ye de ayɛ adwuma a sese ye de ya nka ye yarewa bebree ne ye haw bebree no anka ebe free ye so anaasɛ ebe susu aha yɛn enti na wɔtwe wei what we are going to do ne sɛ yɛbɛkaaka yɛn ho nsɛm bi a yɛate dada no a ebi a yɛwerɛ fi anaasɛ yɛ taking it for granted no yɛsa ba bɛhwɛ saa nneɛma no in a whole different light nti nneɛma a wate dada no yɛsa de kɔm no yɛakyerɛkyerɛ mu kwan foforɔ bi a ebi a na ɛno no aboa wo ama w'ani aba wo so no ahunu sɛ ei sɛ na nneɛma nketenkete yi a mede di agoro yi ɛno no ɛna ɛma ɛha mapɔmuden nti that is what we are going to do. Nneɛma na yɛate dada no a na yɛbɛka yɛn ho na yɛsi so dua ɛfiri sɛ mpanimfoɔ sɛ abɔso baa ɛna ma ɛgya paeɛ mmerɛ a the blacksmith anaasɛ the goldsmith no a ɔde hammer no ɔhama one spot no over and over and over no na kyerɛ sɛ ɛhɔ no ɛho hia no. And so that's what we're going to be doing this week sɛ yɛbɛkae yɛn ho na yɛsi nneɛma bi so dua na nneɛma nketenkete bi no yɛbie so na aboa yɛn ama afei going forward no yɛafa yɛ health no very very seriously. And the first of this and na yɛbɛka ho asɛm no wohwɛ topic na ɛna da so no nutrition secrets. A nutrition secrets is going to lay the foundation for this week na yɛato din sɛ the abundant health series. Health deɛ ɛm sɛ obi a wotie mi biara no sɛ wonni health anka ebia na wɔ hospital. It is all line so na wotie mi a it means that somehow you have your health. But what we want is not just health, but we want it in abundance. Now this week, the ingredients atosodiɛ and nneɛma a ɛbɛboa yɛn ɛbɛkeka bɔ mu a ɛbɛma yɛ health no ayɛ abundant. It starts off with nutrition secrets. And nneɛma nketenkete bi a ɛwɔ nutrition mu adidie mu a ɛbɛboa yɛn ama yɛ pɔmuden no awie pɛyɛ. Na ansa na yɛbɛhyɛ aseɛ no mewɔ question bi a mebisa. Questions mmienu. The first question is say the mu dodoɔ sɛn ɛna yɛpɛ aduane. The mu dodoɔ sɛn ɛna we like to eat. How many of you like to eat? So unless you're sick ɛna w'anum ato na nti w'anum nyɛ ɔdɛ na wontumi nidi anaasɛ wɔaluso appetite a obiara edidi at least once a day. Ebinom didi 2 times a day, ebi didi 3 times a day, ebi didi 4 times, 5 times. Aduane ɛyɛ we need yɛhia nutrients no. But the second question now maybe say no say why do we eat? Already established say aduane ɛyɛ ɛdɛ yɛdidi na yɛdidi ɛpɛ deɛ nti na yɛdidi. This second question, even though it seems obvious, a question you ask, oh, so ready, and your question cries, say, will be sadok if you say, ready, will be any, will be out here. And no, it is not the way we behave, the way we eat, and the way we live our lives as far as eating and nutrition is concerned, no, somehow it is telling a different story. We don't know why, or we don't understand why we eat. And that misunderstanding, and as I say, your health is suffer. Into those nyeman kitin bi no na yebe bi Yesu sisi a enne. Into na just an introduction. Nutrition secrets. Screen is so two figures of a human being, two individuals. Now, they are telling a different story. The pink man is telling a story, and the green man is telling a story. What it is saying is not everything we eat actually provides nutrition for our bodies. Not everything we eat provides nutrition for our bodies. And so I will say, the second question, no, my answer no, so we eat for nutrients. And no, no, my friend, nutrition. No, just who did dear, who did decide about your opinion and we are in a free adriania no more. So we eat to acquire nutrients to keep us healthy and to keep the human machinery working. If you decide about you be na ama ayenya pomodin na ma ye nipadua etimi aye adwuma esese eye. But the sad truth and I say arehosem ne say enye bibia ye di bia no na e fulfill that purpose. Enye bibia ye di bia no na emma yen saa enuane nuro na say nutrients no. This point is very, very important. The one here says you think twice or even 3 times before you put something in your mouth. So otias yes say dintia wo didi say wo didi enuane nro na ahwe so abo ho ban a enye bibia na wo de bewura wonum. Unfortunately no. Yawo aduane in abundance. Until technically a lot of us are overfed, but we are undernourished or we are malnourished. We are overfed, but we are malnourished. To say yedidia mana burusu bebre enso yenya enuane nuro esese yenya. Which means say being fed and also being full, being filled with food is not the same as getting nutrition. Esi ati ase yi pa. Se medidi ami no enkyere se medidi enya nuane nuro. Na eno so na ye problem ba ko a affect you wiase sisia. Because a lot of us think say eating the food that what you're eating may taste good e na dia udi no kra ede. But the fact say we did ya show a full man wa me no enkyere se wenya nuane nuro a wo hia. Intito de bia emu bebre o aduane no kra me di ye maame. But you'll be surprised says I aduane na wo di ye na wan te se wa me no. You're so nutritious say and no na be keep you healthy. E be ma all the nutrients you need. And I will bet me didi nso amia ma wafu ahye pentin atin se wa me pa so na hwi nim. Na actually na the area na bebrel. And that is the story of this pink person. Okay, so pink man here was all screen is ya. Ne openti picture be say. What did you mean I to tree? And so there is no nutrition in there. And so technically speaking, no, this man, pink man, no, even though I share now why plump, but or you're malnourished. Or you're malnourished because we be a purely processed food, sodas, chips, cookies, meats, alcohol, and near massa. And this is what we mean by being overfed but malnourished or undernourished. And sadly, the mu bebree or my way more ye didi bebree and so you and free. And this type of eating now, what did he say now? So acquire first did this picture, a pink person, no. Not I will say and so there is a consequence to this type of eating. And the consequence, and then they say, you lay the foundation for disease. Oto yare efapen. Not only is it not providing you with the nutrients, and yes, where did you? Who did you and no say when you film the way? Nanso when watching no aside in sunsanso boni yare and sunsanso the best abrel. The foundation of health, apomodi fapem. And the foundation of the abundant health na ye kan ho asem na wotwe nyina no e hwase e free nutrition de odi ekọ wanum o hwe green man na woni benkum no a ono nso no e painti picture bi o painti picture bi odimi se onso kese onye prompt sa but oluku trim utimi hu the outline of ni nipadua no hwe utimi hu the outline of the muscles utimi hu se or you're well formed, or you're well structured, or you look healthy. Because odi aduane a man nutrition, a man nutrients. And this type of eating, no, and also our in one, it provided all the nutrients that we here for health. It providing nutrients we here for metabolism. Said you need be adwuma yie na hoɔden na tiapo. And secondly, building the foundation for good health. And so the question, and they say, here's our two images here. Where do you see yourself? And here, our pink person, you and I say, our green person, you. I think so. We are in baby. At the end of the me go and say, me convince you say, oh, pink individual, you move away, no, go towards the green individual. Now, okay, green individual. Now, what's the major difference? The difference can see the pink person, the DDA based on processed foods. More processed food, high fat, high animal protein, sodas, sugar, and artificial flavors. Processed food. Into where DDA more so-called modern civilization way of eating. And the green person also close to nature as possible. Send you fruits, vegetable, close to the earth. And any the way you did the pet apomode. Okay. It is say you have a young suko kakra. Na yen say you see you did for nutrients are. Key nutrients and as our green person this pink person is not getting. A day in a way enya and dear one who buy free area hoa way onya bi. And a day in a way so enya in the air man yare. And on a year because it's here. And the edican ye did send a medical can ye did for nutrients. Ye did send a baby in nutrients and any in row. So because nutrients, a cry and I said in any day. And no, any idea be a would free aduanim na aboye ma yanyini na yetumpon. Something we get from food that is conducive or that is essential for growth and development. Growth and the maintenance of life. Aboye ama yanyini na afe so aboye ma yetumpon na aboye ama aboye nkwa ho ban. That is the simple definition of a nutrient. Because in Rianura, because you're born a tough fan, and no. Bibi a waduane ma wodi a eboa ama wanyini na aboa ama watumpon. There's a difference between growth and development. Ubetimi anyini hron. Ube grow hron. Enso na untimi develop yie. Na o system so no na anya adwuma yie. Enti na this time ube hu se utimi hu obi akwara bi utimi se ube about 10, 11 and ase ube hu pani bi wo hwe no a outwardly a obeka se wadi be 60 and now wadi be 50. Enso no on paper or you be 10, 15 years younger than the way they look. And the exercise, the entire exercise, and say, oh, for growth, but onya the requisite, the essential nutrients is onya for development of maintenance of health. Onya. And the oil necessary nipeduano is deteriorating at a faster pace. As nipeduano air go and tem. Into the better nutrients, and then you hear why that happens. The edikan, and we are in no edikan no. See, you better me and no say me and no na nutrients near chemu you know ya chemu the friend macros and I said macronutrients and the friend micros and I said micronutrients and I said me and no mu akese and only macros no and then me and no mu kete I friend micro akese no any proteins carbohydrates and fats I mean saying and no and I friend macronutrients and then kitwe me you vitamins and minerals and also a micronutrients. And only a micro because a society which is a microscope. And until a micro and not just a BBA, is a unia microscope and as a unia help and son wait me. And no and into okabo more nutrients. Now could be a cat way of friends of phytochemicals, no, and no and shed any nutrients, but they say you classify in terms of lifestyle medicine. You classify no can nutrients are very essential. And no any day. And no any chemicals what plants more and my plants in color. In the social screen is what we use plants your yellow, how you green or honum, your orange, your purple, your white, all the colors you are winning and your chemicals be a what in no buy no more and that's our plants no more. And no your friend of phytochemicals no and no ma and money yasa color no. Now phytochemicals if free Latin, the word phyto, no phyto meaning plant and chemical, the word chemicals. It you can be more just a plant chemicals. Now, and almost say you much say a boy who buy me. In the yen just free macros, no macros no carbohydrates. Carbohydrates no a here yen free. You carbohydrates free whole grains. More quinoa, all the grains, barley, teff, triticale, a friend says sorghum, millet, rice, all those whole grains need in carbohydrates free. In carbohydrates free fruits, in carbohydrates free root vegetables, except potatoes, sweet potatoes, yams, cocoyam, menkani bayre, sani mani na carbohydrates free. The carbohydrates are very, very important. Unfortunately, no, see, there is a craze be a so we are here. And only and one of the things are happen to your health are very, very bad. And yema our health more ama ya real adults no the whole idea is carbohydrates are bad for you. And therefore there is a shift towards high protein, high fat diet, and then low carb diet. Unfortunately, that whole concept say carbohydrates are bad for you, you're wrong. Because of all the macronutrients, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, carbohydrates na you hear to drop. We need more carbohydrates because and no the primary source of energy. You need pediano, you hear power to produce energy, carbohydrates. Into the foundations of health, and as a health secret, I can once me. So health, you have to start moving your diet towards plants and getting more carbohydrates. But the carbohydrates no should be carbohydrates yet to set this green money. Carbohydrates are yet unprocessed. Yet as close to nature as possible. Carbohydrates are if free a body to say in a no pepe. It is a offer a more a moon to say brown rice, red rice, black rice, a more I am poor, I am processing. And no has all the nutrients, it has all the fiber, it has all everything it needs and all the phytochemicals. Now, and no any carbohydrates are carbohydrates, papa. Unfortunately, the entire almost carbohydrates and say processing processing carbohydrates, and they've removed all the beneficial nutrients in the Ephraim and the aka starch, and almost processing the high fat, almost fats, sugar, and oil, and the sugar, salt, and a fat, akika home, no colors, akika home, and carbohydrates, I be something bad in the eyes of the people because of the ultra processing. When they say carbohydrates are bad or high carb is bad for you, what they should actually be saying, and as I say, almost can say, processed carbohydrates are bad for you. And no, the first thing I can say, number one nutrients, I mean, you here for apomodine, for growth and development, carbohydrates, but it should be unprocessed carbohydrates. And no, and now, we are seeing now, nipa enyini chepa. Omunyini chepa no omaduane no dodo na no ehode free about 60-70% if it carbs carbohydrates no your whole unrefined unprocessed carbohydrates. Second one fats there yenya kese, whereas carbohydrates yenya dodo because converting it to glucose. Your brain use glucose, your muscles use glucose. Glucose na your stored energy, you need you store energy your liver in the form of glycogen. Fats there, you hear fats to absorb fat soluble vitamins. To say vitamin A, D, E, and K. In the fats you hear you share macronutrients now. Fats na you hear to 12. That's the one we need the least of. Unfortunately, we live in baby a tea, I want food fat park, cheese a whole raw, any ice cream a whole raw, any oil baby Ghana for your oil pie to be a stew about oil type and in any utimi sa obi aduane a odi no utimi sa any oil esa de sa oil no betimi dia ye aduane foforo amana. And no a lay foundation for health because fats it create inflammation and you're highly inflammatory. And you the fats bebre or set up inflammation. Inflammation it said you also ja when you peduanum. In the most any peduanum no are inflamed. And the inflammation support as the foundation of disease. Because inflammation according to say the peduano eninya as eninya bi ekoso ni peduanum. That is inflammation. And fats is the leading cause of that. And all we need is just a little bit to absorb fat and a little extra. A crabby to help them with their hormones, especially during adolescence. And son of puberty, no, here a crabby, Sebab with me producing hormones here, estrogen, no. Now with me a day in the cycle, no, I pepe. You protein is so the society is so obsessed with protein. Enti no ya adwene ye yense ese me nya protein bebre. Enti no ya ka protein so a for some unfortunately no mama ya adwene ye yense protein is equivalent and as ya ka say protein is equal to meat. You equate protein with meat. Enti no ka protein pe so me hear me protein na chese okwa kwinam. bebree. Esa me we me chicken. Esa me we me steak. Esa me we me beef. Me we. Protein is not equal to meat. Meat can give you protein, but protein is not equal to meat. And the best type of protein, no, and your meat, mona is free. Nyambwa, the last lecture, you about that. Yebeka and no one me will lecture be a two beans proteins, the good, the bad, the ugly. And no, you be in person, start me in there, be Long Island. You be in person. Now you go into details about protein. But for the benefit of any Long Island, no protein, no you hear kakra you hear bi. So there be a form for skin, for nails, for hair, for bone, for blood. You need to be any here protein. But you hear no do sa. Udi protein too much, especially the type of protein we promote no higher animal protein now. Form the foundation for a lot of problems. A lot of problems. If you say protein, no, animal protein, no, no create bacteria bi wɔ nipadua no bacteria bi grow ɛwɔ nsono mu. That bacteria na convert protein into toxic chemicals. That toxic chemicals no ahyɛ ɛrewe wɔ nipadua no mu, ɛrewe wɔ blood vessels mu, na ɛrewe wɔ tissues mu, ɛsɛe wɔ nerves, na lay the foundation for a lot of disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, atherosclerosis, autoimmune disease, neuroinflammation, gout, kidney stones, gallstones. A problem is because you eat a lot of animal protein. And at number 2, you don't need meat for protein. Yes, meat can give you protein. Animal foods can give you protein, but you don't need it. All the protein you need from plants, legumes, nuts, and seeds. Every single protein out here for body development. And also, one of the reasons because we are eating too much animal protein. It is abundant health for one more. Not me kaimo say. Yes, let's try to reset. Reset winam dodo. And you use fat dodo. The young people know, especially say, your program be pizza. Pizza. Now, all the cheese, now you all that fat, no. A queen more. A could deposit your baby. A could lay foundation for ill health. A could lay foundation for disease. Into your name, Kayan say, Mama Yanshen ye. Now, Yanshen, your queen for ADD. We need a lot of carbohydrates, good healthy carbohydrates, moderate amount of protein, mostly from plants, and some person will nam kakra be from there, and then just a little bit of fats, and then vitamins and minerals. And also need because the vitamins you can vitamin C, vitamin B vitamins, and any vitamins are here. And the minerals, you can potassium, magnesium, calcium, sodium, phosphorus, and yamasa. No every plants mu and no buy vitamins and minerals come from plants. And no buy a hot and yano. Ain't in the say the pink man no processed food there all lack vitamins and minerals. And the vitamins and minerals no so here. Say the baby peduano ebetini aye adwuma yie. Enti se onya that is one of the causes of that malnourishment in America. Say ye did me and so you need peduano nutrients. So that is one of the reasons. And a lot of us you lack a lot of vitamins and minerals because you eat processed foods, and processed foods don't have that. And the phytochemicals, so and the human is saying and no a sayari be brave. So into natural medicine, it's unbelievable the power of plants. Sad to say, you know, for some reason, natural medicine, no, the power of plant medicine, no, ye mfitiaseɛ no yɛ ma ahohomsɛm no bɛdi yɛnim kan nti no sɛ yɛka sɛ obi ate ahaban a na afei yɛsuro akɔyɛ sɛ abohomsɛm but nyankopɔn bɔɔ ahaban no all the colors you see no ɛyɛ aduro bi a ɔde ahyɛ mu a ɛsa yareɛ. And if you know what you do, you know what plants and yɛka sɛ plants a ɛnyɛ ahaban a ɛwɔ wira mu nko awo nhaban a ɛwɔ fie koraa te sɛ aduane mu nhaban te sɛ aduane color te sɛ broccoli ne cauliflower nom ne spinach ne nyinaa no nnuro wɔ carrots nom ne nyinaa nnuro wɔ these phytochemicals no yɛtumi extract concentrate no de sa yareɛ paa beautifully nti sɛ wopɛ sɛ wonya bi a you have to eat more plants ma w'aduane no nyɛ plants and how do you do it ɛkwan a wobɛfa so no ne sɛ focus say 80 to 85% of everything you eat must come from plants. Aduane a wobɛdi biribi a bɛkɔ w'anum biara no emu ɔhankyɛ mu aduɔwɔtwe kɔ aduɔwɔtwe enum 80 to 85% no ɛsɛ ɛfiri plants mu. Yɛka sɛ plants what are we talking about? Yɛka whole grains te sɛ ɛmo atokɔ awio quinoa ne saa grains saa nom my friend say fruits ahoroɔ fruits no deɛ yɛka bebree apples oranges bananas bebree grapes fruits bebree ne nyinaa no and all the colors vegetables ahoroɔ leafy vegetables nom te sɛ spinach nom ne bok choy nom ne kale ne different colors ne nyinaa ɛna vegetables bi te sɛ broccoli nom ne cauliflower ne biribi te sɛ eggplant, you know, all the different types of vegetables. And the whole root vegetables, the sweet potatoes, vegetable family. No. And the whole grains, fruits, vegetables. And the whole legumes, chickpeas, black eyed peas, kidney beans, asedria, all the different types of beans, yellow lentils, green lentils, black eyed peas, and the kidney bean, all the different bean family, you know. And no a proteins no. And then the fifth one now within the plants necessarily nuts and seeds, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, chia seeds, sunflower seeds, almonds, cashews, walnuts, macadamia nuts, any nuts are whole as a sister unim dia as a say usuya. As a say how yɛbɛma saa nneɛma mabobɔ din whole grains, fruits, vegetables, legumes, ɛna nuts ne seeds no ɛno no ayɛ yɛ aduane. Sɛ wodidi saa na wonnidi te sɛ deɛ pink person ne didi a you are laying the foundation for good health. Ɛno no na ɛbɛboa wo ama onipadua no atumi atena ase. Na saa nneɛma wɔ yi ɛna unfortunately no we are taking it for granted. Your civilization, we are always on the run. Chips process what kind money things, money boxes, and then say, let's go back to nature. Let's go back to basics. Sending Yankopon Eshisheno. Ye principles be. The first principle, and after the first secret, and they say, let the Bible be your guide. Yamma trust them and chere yenkwan. Na se trust them chere yenkwan, you be who say mfitiaseɛ no onyankopɔn ma enipa and no by God give man plans. Ɔma yɛ no by sɛ ɛno na ɛnyɛ yɛ aduane. Emra ensuyiri na akyiri no, ɛna nyankopɔn ma nipa kwan sɛ ɔnwe ɛnam. But ɛno koraa no ohwɛ kan uso kyerɛsɛm no now the nkɔmhyɛ woman ka ho a ɔkyerɛkyerɛ yɛn sɛ it was meant to be a short-lived thing. Nyankopɔn hyehyɛ yɛn ne sɛ nka mmerɛ a plants na ɔbayɛ asa efu bie mu no a anka nipa bɛkɔ back to plants na yɛgyae nam no wi nkakra na yɛgyae wi. But the nipa so ɔdi nti no nipa toa so a ɛna afei nso the commission man yɛ pefee sɛ one of the things no nso ne sɛ mmerɛ nipa hyɛ aseɛ sɛ ɔwe nam no yɛn nkwa nna so tee so wobɛtumi ayɛ biblical you know research no ahwɛ before the flood and after the flood nkwa nna no so tee boom na one of the reasons no was say meat eating ɛnam wie ɛbɛka nipa abrabɔ ho nti ɛnam wie ɛne adeɛ baako a ama yareɛ adɔɔso sisi ɛna ama yɛn nkwa nna nso ayɛ tia nti no basically deɛ meka ne sɛ sɛ wode ɔso bɛwi nam koraa no a te so koraa ɛsɛ sɛ plants no ɛyɛ 80 to 85%. na aboro so koraa 15 to 20% ayɛ from animal products. Okay, nti the first thing is sɛ woma Bible no yɛ wo guide a the Bible will lead you back to Eden. ɛbɛsa de wakɔ Eden mu ɛfiri sɛ Onyankopɔn de saa mmerɛ yɛwɔ mu yi a 2025 yi a yareɛ atu ate sɛ a all the time yareɛ ahorow bebree no God is taking his children back to Eden. ɔde yɛkɔ back na wamoa yɛ akɔyɛ akɔdidi sɛneɛ na ɔpɛ sɛ yɛdidi wɔ Eden sɛ yɛyɛ saa that abundant health na yɛhia that we are looking for, that we are going to be talking about this whole week, you know. Apomodin a esipisi na ye kan wasem na otwe nyina no. The key, you know, or the secret of nutrition now, mato me lecture ye no, is going back to Eden. Yanko back to Eden. Ye misa trust them say, Erade, say na Eden no pesa o medidi. Na ye be hu say e de be back to the land. E ma ye didi no, e be ye the rainbow colors. Principle number 1, no, until let the Bible be your guide. Number 2, within the as I say, yes, simple. Simplicity. And then you too much complicated. And so say aduane a wo be di no, wo hia encyclopedia. And say na what media akyerɛkyerɛ ingredients na yatro no ase. So aduane a wo di no ehia encyclopedia. Na on ase a na kyerɛ sɛ maybe you're not supposed to be eating that. And I said aduane no very very simple. Abros wa 1, 2, 3 ingredients. And the ingredients, you know, as I say, ye bibi a utiasi. Simplicity is very, very important. What that means, then say, as I say, we have to learn how to read labels. You move a brain and kind labels. Or be a honor or far, especially in the man or far. Oh, how many calories in the womb? Or calories in this there be. Simplicity. You want simple ingredients as possible. Number 3, as I say, your nutrition should be appropriate for the type of work you do. So we sedentary. So you don't need to eat too much food. But so you be a 1 or 2 hours and also your physical labor, and you know a little more and a little bit more of protein and a little bit more of fat. Kakrebi. It will show what did we juma ho and now what did and so did na a show so now ho. Because who did as say you should be able to burn the fat. You say you burn the calories. And you know, principle number 3 is say nutrition should be appropriate to your activity. And when Juma na say ohwe na udidi. And say udidi bebre ma ne broso. Number 4, as I say tasty. You mo bebre na ya gene say healthy food should be and yet there. Aduane a apomudin wo mu na yet there. Enti no yensua yento ye bo ase ensua how to prepare good delicious meals. Aduane a healthy na de yensua. Enti ana awehosam ne say uko Ghana nsori bebre ya meme ndase ye no aduane ne yesi ye vegetarian aduane a ubo se ne anoa white rice. Ye no white rice na ne ya red stew. Ye red stew na ne ya lettuce ne dia ka ho. Lettuce. Iceberg lettuce no. Na eno ne vegetarian no. Na ebi ho no ma na ya no akosua ba ko ne dia ka. Na se anko ye kosua na se ebi eskas ye pure plant-based vegan diet dia. Any eno ano no because you hunu de yenye. Inti Yeah, no one here see. But I want to submit to you, say, healthy food should not be that way. As I say, aduane no yet tasty. It has to smell good. As I say, it was sweet aroma, but that doesn't come by chance. You and then we go YouTube and also go internet. Now we say how to prepare tasty, good aroma, vegetarian, plant-based diet, and as of meals, we have thousands of recipes. We have to learn. You see how to do it. Na yɛduane no ntumi enye tasty. Finally, yɛdidie na America no, it has to look like this. Good nutrition looks like this. Nature back to nature. It looks say na Nyankopɔn pɛ sɛ yɛduane no ɛyɛ. In this way, did aduane a wodi no sɛ ɛmfiri ɛfam, ɛmfiri dua so, na ɛmfiri nnɔbaeɛ mu a, na time biara na yɛ box ne can ne tin ne a pouch mu a, think twice. And then nutrition secrets say the secret to abundant health starts with adopting a diet at say. So oh yes, we did you say na say healthy nutrition pyramid no say na say oh base na on whole grains no na wo no. Because no na be my carbohydrates now that's what we need. We need more carbohydrates, more healthy carbohydrates. And no and then all the carbohydrates now we hear no all the fiber you need. Minerals, be calcium, potassium, be free greens. Phosphorus, no many sani money be free. Magnesium, be free greens. After vegetables, naba. Now bahasa ya legumes, no aba beans, ne bean family no. And a straw no kakre be a lightly processed. And yet ultra lightly processed is oil you'll see because oil need free bibim. Bibi to say olive oil like you free olives mo. Inti no unya cold pressed extra virgin olive oil a lightly processed. Inti no kakre bi na wosoro ha. And then chini kakre bi so unti process kano lightly processed. This is what nutrition should look like. Unfortunately, no maya iwomu no enye sana promote because this type of eating this way doesn't sell. Did you say sika nhyɛ da nnim na mmom sɛ ɔpromote deɛ ɛyɛ process no ma wa ɛhɔ na sika no wɔ nti a lot of the nutrition advice a yɛnya no say unfortunately ɛyɛ driven by the industry nutritional council now wɔn de advice nutritional ayiba every 2 years or so wɔn draw nutritional recommendations you know. Almost 95% of them are sitting on the boards of the food and beverage industry, of the meat industry, of the sugar industry, of the process industry. And so no, the advice they give no is to favor their benefactors, to favor the industry now, a support woman. Intimoma yemma yeni any taste and guide. And then finally, the principle no say change comes with consistency. Yes, how you gradual. I'll start to say, "Oh, better into what way you know, man, to make you move a brady and say, "Yeah, tia, some now." Was a near question. Oh, and you know, I shall see no queen baby, nothing on 20 boys in Siani year. Nothing now after a copy, no, give up, no, a jibra. Start gradually and make it a point to say, "Why didn't you say, oh, better some life." Obese sawa pomudin obese sawa didie na wa hyase no wasua ekwan ya befa so didi na wadi whole grains wadi fruits wadi vegetables legumes and nuts and seeds no so unnim di a hyase asua na kakra. The only exception of nipa ya na me catch almost say you have to change quickly any nipa or chronic disease nipa or chronic disease person ebeye worse now person reverse diabetes high bad person reverse no high blood cholesterol high blood pressure any autoimmune diseases binum GR problems binum yare bebre bi a person reverse ya hawa and no dey yeah, na patients and about I advise them na draw a plan amount. So you have to change quickly because time is of the essence. I don't know say no timi ye na uchi san. We don't say yare no na eko. Inti and ne apo you know aha na yiri besi. Onyame asem say opese yitu mpon honhom mu ani honam mu na saa foundation no a saa nkwagye na nyame pese ogye no on say a spiritual both a spiritual as a coin, two sides of the coin, one side and the salvation of the soul and the other side, you know, and the physical body. So Nyankopon GA ni pedua. Nyankopon hyehyɛ ne sɛ yɛde saa nhyehyɛ yi bɛyɛ adwuma. Na aboaye ama yɛapɔmuden no atumi awie pɛyɔ. Na yɛtumi asom Nyame yie na yɛnkwagye nso awie pɛyɔ. Meda mo ase. Mede ma no bɛsi ha sei. Na menim sɛ asɛmbisa bi wɔ hɔnom a a few minutes ya aka yɛn nim yɛbɛtumi de ansa.
Yo, Dr. Yeda Sibibre, Nyame Show, Nyame Masamre de Yebeje questions. Obitimi on mute ho na wabisa. Opesa wo de to chat ni mo nso so a yebetimi aje. Ti Yebeje questions.
Okay. Na who's antis obiama nsa so adisandi pacho bitna kasa.
Yo, Dr. Yedasi Bebre, my question on say now can say any more fruits and vegetables. Now they say na ya say yeah plants, you know, most of them near genetically modified. And you promote saying organic. But I thought I yet the biana obenya sikadia to organic. And now maybe say na GMO no. I don't know how much of the nutrients and I in your free mo. That's it.
Okay, yo. GMO, genetically modified organism. GMO no. In fact, there are only a few can I say produce and genetically modified. The first one is soybeans. And the second one, my friend said, canola. So soybeans, canola, butternut squash, and yema yedino, soybean, canola, butternut squash, and a brew corn. So yema 4 and a genetically modified, as he say, widely available on the market. Umuguso try some baby. Try tomatoes by market. I didn't sell because then yet they withdrew it. And try being getting fish try some GMO fish. But the genetically modified a year marketed worldwide or supermarket, you're likely to find one. Products from corn, soy, and canola. In the I always insist to say you have to try and get organic of those. In the organic soy, organic canola, and organic corn. And basically, it also means say all sentina na make us say we have to as close to nature as possible because one koto aduane no say nyame bo no efi dua so na say efi form na say efi ahaban mu a directly now koto process na you are going to eat processed food that they genetically modified na genetically modified cry and nutrients no cry hu hia me o the process na you produce genetically modified no and no na problem because genetically modified no you woni ma me either say omo ye no say herbicide resistant say yetimi di a draw eguso a emu enuro na yetimi di kumo ewira no omu edi gusa eno no so a emu eno no na the first year say GMO ye common no herbicide resistance ana say BT no say eno ankasa e produce no na herbicide I say ne pesticide Inti no ba bi ho no mo a te se aburo ene soil ye GMO no e produce pesticides a ikum a. And no na me hear me because o my research bebre hunu say sa chemicals na ye di gu so no ye di spray so and chemicals na e produce no a very toxic to nipadua. Ema it me e bi create me cause cancer, liver cancer, breast cancer, ovarian cancer, prostate ni ade bebre. Inti no na esa ohwe. Vegetables ni fruits dear. As at now, yeah, minimum because 2025 there is no vegetable except butternut squash. There is no vegetable and fruit a warm market worldwide. Omo experimenting with be Japan, no many ade be get. But worldwide, yeah, vegetable ni fruit be any one ma genetically modified. See, you can be sure say okoto na untimi to organic kra no a unya vegetables ni fruits are you will be safer than eating processed food. Na say what koto vegetables ni fruits na organic try say obahohuru hu ye o de semna ebahohuru hu na wayi sa greasy material ni nyina free hu wo wi a na wasoku ni ye in enchine o de enchine any ankatwa de lemon and salt o de fra na o de osuku a eno no na chese we create acid kakra bi mild acid na wo de suku nti se moa bi omu ana bibia na eno so eku no ansa na wayi so wo ye ne saa wo be ye okay. Minim sa question for bi o bi ma open ni makom pacho.
Okay, Dr. Yeda. Okay, that's a part of the my question. Ni. When say yenti sebe a crass yenti meme bia ye production, let us say a brownie, the vegetables, and the animal. You want to say many people are be fraud and normally tells us in Mexico no. And those farmers, they want to make profit. They say organic you say then you we before say which might transport to our bedroom New York or harm ye dino. This of a be so preserve what the answer. Until no sooner or preserve Sabaya answer quem. Yabaka and Samia be a dear. The thing now say chemicals. The reason I make a sign say Minya quite call farm be and chair cry. To me corner strawberry or a foam. Na strawberry na ewo ho no na abere wo dua no so nti bi die na me compare die ekoto de BGs no ana me hunu se die na ewo dua no so no ne die ekoto de BGs no far different taste ni bibia tie no sound so yes e be day because inya kwai enko the farms to get the food ope umpo be ko BGs be ko school be ko other stores na koto before the jano so about need no aguso se be ya dua no ne nseye no eboyen. Question we cry.
Yeah, question no da hopa. The tell me say fresh produce. You can fresh produce ankasa pa no de. Yeah, na ye nta ni niema bebre ya as ye de preserve no bebre sa nti most of the time the omu ye ne say omu twa omu wo mechanism bi a transport fresh produce no free farm no straight to the stores omu beton no nti the omu ya omu ebi o hono ma omu di guba bag mo no ma vacuum seal no ma de ko ebi o hono so omu twitwa no hono ma no ma freeze o ma freeze nti fresh produce mom de ya na as say especially so when organic dia ya na preservatives bebree enhye de nim sa nti no even though true say a bit me aba say when your produce bi if you chi na eba no it is still compared to the alternative na is still better than say we be processed food. And no crana what we do, we encourage people and say just do your best. Try so be the best that your money can buy because your health is at stake. And over try say unko top yeah sabi air na onni nefe echi na mmom wobɛtɔ deɛ wohwɛ a waa no in your estimation na ɛyɛ healthy. And secondly no produce na ya na ka say organic a sɛ ɛwɔ USDA organic label no wɔ ho a ɛno na ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ organic most of the time produce no nti ɛno no deɛ they insist wɔn try so wɔn bɛ preserve wɔn bɛ protect that label nti sɛ wɔ USDA organic ebi hɔ ara na yɛ blue ebi hɔ ara na yɛ green sɛ ɛno no wɔ ho a ɛno no na ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ organic no sɛ ɛni ho a na kyerɛ sɛ ɛnyɛ organic nti that is what we can do. The other thing so no ne sɛ wobɛhwehwɛ baabi a farmers market ɛwɔ baabi a wote farmers market no yɛ a na wɔn wɔ mu mmienu ebi yɛ hɔnom a wokɔ farmers market na wobisa wobɛhu sɛ wɔn wɔ section bi a wɔn tɔn organic nneɛma nko a farmers ne bebree wɔ hɔnom a wɔn dua organic yi no ma abɛtɔn nti wokɔ farmers market a most of the time wobɛnya aduane a ɛtaa yɛ fresher ɛkyɛn deɛ ɛwɔ supermarket a yɛyi agu ɛhɔnom akyɛ nti I guess say that is what I can say. Say you do your best and try to find the best thing possible. Now the best is what you are be cleaning, you are washing, you are making sure say the wood you know you clean. But your question for hobby.
Yeah, mpacho doctor, my question. A follow up on nyaba ehon na o kasa no na o kasa de non-GMO no e was it me ehoro ho yemfa soap ehoro. Na my question is say in soap ya na ye use to ye de bi wo nkukom ni ade na bi wo a obeto no wo hwia hwehwehwam e kamia ye size o the perfumes bi kra gu sa soap ni mu ntina is there any recommended soaps that would say betimi aboye de be hohoro ye nnuaba ne ho?
Okay. Yeah, a very important question, Pamidasi. And you know, correct. So you the soap out of na plain regular soap. Yeah. Yemfa scent, unscented, yemfa be bien inti most of the time yeah, ubinya bi. So soap yemfa color bien color nim na yemfa scent bien no na ye soap here. So the whole fruits ni vegetables. Na se wa ho ya no enye bia unscented ni de no de all over the place and baby obenya bi na de ya na ye problem kakra no you know color no ebi yo hold ma obeya na unya color ni bi na eno no se unya what you have to do ni se obe rinse ni ye akosi se wa obe hunu sa afede wa rinse vegetables ni o yes obe wash off all the scent ni na se fruit and as a vegetable when say and when that so ye smooth as a slippery na a trace grease material be when just say still na properly washed but so when you na product suppose is quicker na a trace afidie wa wash na ye clean nti eno no na say ye but when him say ye kan ye semina na ye nya Ghana no regular semina no and no cry healthier. So we bet me in Ghana semina ni bia yemfa hwem premu na ye de nwo aye na and no cry de and ye bet me dia kokoro kama na afi why free. Enti that is the soap that you need. Regular unscented without any artificial colors and without any additives bia. Let me say obi ebisa question. Okay. So seedless fruits no. And no and yet genetically modified. Genetically modified, they are no modify the genes. Into yetimi ko yi sonsono be a gene near the best typical example. Sa GMO soy in any corn na make an wasem na BT corn no. A bacteria be a produce toxin, but bacteria if any BT in a short form for Bacillus thuringiensis, BT. And we may use the gene no and omudi abɛhyɛ aburo any soybeans mu sɛ de bɛyɛ soybean no be produce saa toxin and as a chemical boy do bonina na saa bacteria no produce a ekum other insects near them and omudi abɛhyɛ in the genetically modified no na saa no mo yɛ genes no ne da hyewe mu ne de produce na afei ya propagate as ye dua na kyese ye nyamo. But the process of the produce seedless oranges, ni seedless grapes, ni saa no there. And they genetically modified. A regular breeding a year no aye. Aye cross breeding ni saa. I don't know they play with science, but I don't know any genetically modified. As far as nutrients are concerned, you know, they are equivalent. But but orange says if seeds ni mo won't mean we are the seed wo na pese odua na aye problem. But say nye dua na pese odua na say unya orange a ye clean na ye healthy na ye organic na say seed ni mo kra na ye okay. And genetically modified. Farmers market produce na nye ni nyina na ye organic. Just say organic a year. Farmers market be a wa say there. So within the farmers market, there was session be on one organic produce. Not just a farmers now, as a form organic alliance beer, for pesticides and chemicals beer no by so. Nobody about say nipa bebre farmers market no locally grown no. Omasha see yet sell mobile organic no obi no more. Omun sheda fa pesticides in so nanso no omun ni organic certification because organic certification no as I say asase a odua so no eya asase a dem fa chemicals in so for certain number of years be no mo that testing make sure say okay that test here for so and so number of years so bia enye efu ha where use chemicals nti e onima bebre omu test ansa na when organic certification nti nipa ni bi ho no mo a no by na o madua no mfa chemicals so farmers market asem na making you but enya organic certification yet but locally grown ubetnya confirm kwa kwahwe and after so yemfa entu kwan bebre and use chemicals bebre. Okay, vinegar. Yes, so vinegar and salt in place of for the washing. No, yes. So vinegar and salt. No, so if I use vinegar, only shade in here salt. You've got vinegar, no acid or vinegar, acidic acid. In the vinegar, no, ubit may use vinegar and but soap, any my friend is saying no. Some no, I know that the only and say would degrees. What the whole every home, fear free home. Now vinegar no anasa salt and lemon na American. And no what you're doing is say bacteria be anasa ibi umwa na ekuno. It you know ya more say bacteria and germs be umwa and no inunti na use vinegar anasa use salt water and lemon juice no. Anasa lime no. That is what that is for. In any case, you need to wash it with soap and sana in the salt, lemon, or vinegar solution. Into which may use. But your question for Hobby. Okay. Let me say I exhaust the questions in hand. Questions in Asadia. May hand over man penny for. And Yambua. Wachina the topic I become was you bet to need say movement is medicine. Movement is medicine. Inti. Yambua ochna, don't miss it. And I catch the uniano on also a mammy tea. Said I can ye kaka ye home. And you make it getting ya bet kai ye home. I be boying. Amma yet to me, Yapumudino, every year. Payo. Medamasi. Yambua ochna yibishia.
Yo, and I was say, Dr. Janfi, Nyame Insha will be brave, set what my home fine, not what I so at the health lecture set to say a brave. Nyame ma ye koswa kai and say yen kai hon yen fra fro. Yen che flyers no umunina menya apomodin jumedie yimu echefa. Yesre onyame mpaye ama doctor say omone ho ban omana ho den no ntimi emfa no intwa na wotwe nyina. Ansana yebekono yen closing prayer no Mrs. Christiana Ajiman and a closing prayer no ebemaye. The summary dear Mrs. Christiana Ajiman ebitimide empire no amaye dawa.
Nyame mampa shoma bai. Yeneja was read was in ray. It was so nam ye doctor so. It ain't semua. Ebe boying a we mu. Ewe yendidi mu. Na ama apomodin sonko. Inti enyimre oma yehye mu nyina yedi nyina ye ho hyonsa. Yeso waja ma yadwin fufuye ewe yedidi ho. Yeso boying na de yedi kɔ yini pedue mu bia no yenhu se ebema ya apomodin sonko. Yenim se ade nyina mu no ohwehwɛ yɛn se yebenya ahoɔden ne yenya na mɔso. Inti enyimre yeso tumne boying. Na secret a ebema ya apomodin sonko odi ama yɛn no yintimi enni so yi na yɛn yarewa afiri yɛn so. Na afei no yenya apomodin a ɛdɔɔso brɔso. Enyimre yɛ de doctor so Johnsta. Na wotwi mu abra wayi na ma yɛn yeso. Mana ahoɔden sonko a na wotwi mu ɔde wɔn nsɛm pasa ebema yɛn. Oma enyimre yɛn nyinaa so yɛkɔ akɔdeda yeso. Wɔ yɛn ho ban ma ade pankyɛn. Na ade akyi na yɛhu hwan fɛfɛ na yɛde aseda a enika bia ama. Yɛda wase sɛ enyimre wo ka yɛn ho. Na nyame wo yɛ adom so a ɔkyerɛ enyimre nso oma nyinaa bɛsan bɛhyia. Eyi wa yɛn kamfo din enyimre deɛ wode ama yɛn. Ɛwɔ Jesus Christ din mu. Amen.
Amen, amen, Mrs. Onyame Insha. Adofo no ye kai time no 7:30 anate no so apa ho sima aduasa. Na program no ahyase ti emo ye ho kai. Summary de be ma nyina ye ho mespa. See identity mo ye ho a enhwe me ne one time so. Amen.